Dr. Price this question as well. A friend of mine named Jonathan Rothenberg is a financier in Manhattan. He writes occasional letters to the editor of the Wall Street Journal, and he always has excellent ideas. And his thought on how we should handle this was that rather than attach the amnesty overturn provision in the DHS budget, why not pass the rest of the spending and then put that into, let's say, the budget of the EPA, yes, or better yet, the budget of the IRS. Yes. So the debate would have been, okay, Democrats, do you want to shut down the EPA, or hey, let's all shut down the IRS? And if that happened, most people wouldn't care about shutting down the EPA, and people would cheer if the IRS were closed.
Exactly the discussion that we were having in December. What to attach it to, and many of us believe that there was a better hostage to attach it to, and we didn't prevail.
The moderator asked you about attaching riders to other bills or using the funding for the Department of Homeland Security, yep, to defund perhaps the EPA or other liberal agencies. Can you elaborate more on that? Like, what is the current thinking? Would you be able to attach riders to the EPA or to the Department of Education? Like, how would that work?
Yeah, the fundamental problem is that we have a president that is out of control, that is acting outside the law and extra constitutional. And so the very few bullets or the opportunities that we have to be able to use a policy to get him under control, to get him to be held accountable, is through the power of the purse. Now that takes passing legislation through both the House and the Senate, and the President actually has to sign those pieces of legislation. What we do in our appropriations process is all of the kinds of projects and policies and programs that come through, we put constraints on what the President is able to spend that money on, and we've done a lot of that. But the President comes up with another idea that's outside the law almost every single day, and so we're going to have to continue to do that.
But so you could fund the Department of Homeland Security, but then still use the immigration executive order riders against funding for the EPA?
It's possible to attach policy changes to the kind of spending bills that we put through Congress. It gets technical, but it's possible to be able to do that. What we need to do is to make certain that we're able to put those, they're called policy riders, put them in place at a time when the President would have to sign a piece of legislation, and that's the challenge.
Undercurrent under the surface makes the mainstream get so nervous. It's time for purpose, for news to serve us, not with propaganda.